Welcome back to Industry Conversation. My guest today is the founder and provost of Nigeria's leading advertising school, O2 Academy, Mr. OZONE MBANEFO. Glad to have you join us on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, great. So let's hit the ground running. I wanted to ask you about your assessment of, the brand management business in the outcome here. What is your assessment of that?
Okay. First off, I would say the Nigerian advertising is not where we used to be. Let's say the truth. Where we are coming from is far, 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 far above what we are experiencing now. Yeah. But the truth is, we're not where we want to be yet. Yeah, and this is the reason why organizations like O2 Academy showed up to help bridge that gap and give some oxygen that will propel the industry to where it is designed to be. Yeah.
So would you say that brand performance at the bottom line, level gave good account of themselves in terms of return on investment?
I would say post-COVID, of course, you and I know that COVID hit hard on so many brands. Okay. And so far, post-COVID, brands are really doing well. They coming back, the springing back wasn't as expected. We thought it was going to be slow, but things are really happening so far. So they are really gaining momentum, so to speak, yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges that, reared its ugly head last year or in the past in the entire industry?
You and I know what the time is right now. Is dollar o'clock. So I would say just the same way everyone is crying on the inflation thing. It affected every industry. Yeah. So advertising is no exception. So, but then again, for me, I think anywhere you see challenge, there's an opportunity. And that is the angle I'm looking at it from, because more than ever, I think this is the time to really, really, think outside the box to, come up with things that will move the economy forward. And advertising has a very huge role to play, because we are in the business of mind control. Yeah.
The business of
mind control.
So talking about
on a mass level, most importantly. Yeah.
Oh, great. So talking about opportunities, what do you see as waiting opportunities for the year 2024?
The opportunities is simple. Like I said, everywhere you have a problem, there is an opportunity. And the opportunity is simply we solving problems for our clients beyond just advertising. How are we helping the businesses thrive? So when a client doesn't give you a brief, so to speak, to say, oh, I want XYZ, as an agency, we should be able to provide solutions beyond just advertising, but on the general health of the brand, to see that the brand is doing well. Because when a brand is doing well, then they should be able to, push in more money for, marketing communications. Yeah.
Great. So how do you think that brands can position themselves in this new year, in the year 2024?
Positioning is subjective. It depends on what their brand manifesto is for the year. So for every brand, they've got what they want. So for some brands, it's not even about positioning. It's about return on investment. For some, it's just footfall. For some, it's just brand recognition. And for some, is basically them sustaining their existing customers. So it is dependent on what the brand wants to say for themselves, or what they want to achieve for the year. Yeah.
Okay, great. So still talking about brands now, what opportunities do you think brands have out there, in the market space?
Yeah, it's all about solving problems. The brand can gain more return on investment depending on how much of value they bring into the lives of its consumers. Because everybody wants that share of wallet. But the truth is, how much of a problem are you solving? And that's what determines the return on investment.
So earlier you mentioned advertising being, a game of mind controlling. Now I wanted to ask, with the reforms going on, inflation, and all of these challenges we're facing, how can consumers enhance increase in their purchasing power?
Okay, for me, the reform, I would say, is just to put some sort of a check. Like I always tell people, for there to be law and order, there must be an enforcement agency. Just like you walking on the street, someone just comes and hits you. Yeah, that is against the law, and there is a law enforcement agency that helps to, curtail such things. Yeah. And so also it is in advertising. Yeah. So the ARCON is there as the police, the advertising police, to see that things are put in shape, that things are in order. Yeah. And each time you want to enforce the law, not so many people are going to be happy about it. I can assure you that there are several sectoral bodies that are not really very cool about that. And I understand their pains, but the truth is, the law is the law. The government is the government. And you can't, fight the government. But it's just to find a meeting point to see that, all parties are happy. And for us as an academy, we will partner with anyone that is out to see that things are done properly. And that is where we stand as Oxygen, giving life to lives, to make life better for other lives.
Okay, great. So tell us, what are some of the shifts you have witnessed in the industry recently, and how has this shift impacted the performance of professionals in the industry?
The shift so far I can tell is what Arcon is doing. Arcon is bringing, for example, recently Arcon, made O2 Academy an examination center. And I tell you, that move is a huge one. Why? Because we are the bridge between the fresh graduates from school. Yeah, I call it the town and gown. So we are the bridge between the town and gown. And being able to identify the role we play and coming to, make us a part and parcel of the system to help bridge that gap is a big kudos on Arcon. For us, is the way to go. Because right now, we are there to help help bring in more people into advertising and even get more student membership into the practice of advertising. So for us, that's a huge one.
Okay, great. So tell us about, you mentioned something about Arcon, your partnership with Arcon. But before we go to that, tell us about O2 Academy. What does O2 really stands for?
Okay. Of course, 02, which is Oxygen, is simply designed to be that springboard that gives life to every brand and every young person that wants to get into the business of brand communication. Okay. Yeah, so just as the name goes, Oxygen, we give life to anyone that crosses path with it.
Wow, give you life. Okay, so tell us about your recent, or not recent, I know you just recently added, some sort of another layer of partnership with Arcon. You and Arcon, O2 Academy has been in, some form of partnership before now. Tell us about all of this partnership. Our viewers would like to know.
Okay, so it's part of what I was talking about, the recent moves, yeah, in some reforms that Arcon is doing. I'll tell you, from when we had the new DG, yeah, the CEO of Arcon, yeah, the very first thing they did was to, make O2 Academy an examination center. And that on its own boosted our confidence, because that tells us that they believe in us. And of course, O2 Academy has existed for the past 17 years, helping to ship in young ad professionals into the advertising industry. And having done that successfully for 17 years, they saw a reason to, be a part of what we're doing. And we really got very excited about that, yeah. And having done that over some years, they felt it right time to even increase the level of partnership they have with us, and which is why today the body decided that they want to have a stronger collaboration with O2 Academy in the area of training, workshops, and of course examinations. And for us, it's a right move in the right direction. And I'll tell you why. Some other leadership would have just ignored what we're doing. But we never knew they were watching with keen interest on the level of result and the effectiveness of our training. And I can tell you by the records, 7 out of every 10 young person today in the business of marketing communication in Nigeria is a product of O2 Academy. It started in 2007 in my 2-bedroom apartment. And today, the upper echelon, the creme de la creme of the industry, are fully entrenched in support of O2 Academy with a wide network of faculty, and of course, having the likes of Biodu Shobanjo as our patron, and of course, the AAAM president and our board of director. That tells you that we've got a very rich faculty, and that is the reason why the ARCON is throwing its weight behind what we are doing to say, come, let's do this together. And like I always say, collaboration is the new competition.
Okay, great. So,
Yeah.
what is this collaboration? What is this partnership? What does it benefit students? What does it benefit advertising practitioners in Nigeria and all over?
Beautiful. Like I said, O2 Academy has been in existence for over 17 years, and we have the most effective, strong, and much more disciplined kind of training, yeah, that we felt, the ARCON felt it's necessary to infuse into their own training programs, their existing training programs. So it's more of you bring your strength, we bring our strength, and let's make it bigger, better, and stronger. So the O2 Academy partnering with ARCON today means that when you are training through ARCON to get certified as an ARCON member, is as good as you are training through O2 Academy, because we are going to be pulling in our resources and everything we represent in terms of our structure and philosophy to what ARCON is also doing. So it's collaboration to just make it stronger and better.
Well, that's so good to hear. So tell us, what are some of the ethos that O2 Academy, you said O2 Academy has been in existence for about 17 years.
That's
now,
right.
What are the ethos that O2 Academy was built upon?
Oh, beautiful question. Thank you very much for that question, because each time I think of that, that really inspires what we do. The first one, like we all sing it and talk about it every step of the way, is the fact that O2 Academy is a people-centric brand. We are not a customer-centric brand. Brands that are customer-centric are brands that just want to give you their services, you give them their money, it stops there. But people-centric brand care about people. We go beyond the line of duty. We want to be sure that your life is sorted out. Not just the fact that you came for training, but rather we want to be sure that we make impact in your lives. And that's why in O2 Academy, our students and the instructors, we call them by their names. Every student has got a cup with their name on it. So we take our students very special. We even remember their birthdays. Like I always tell people, nobody cares to know how much you know until they know how much you care. And that has been the strongest philosophy that has built, of which O2 Academy is built on. The second one is hard work. We work hard and we play hard. We call it for education. So we work hard and of course we play hard. And of course, the third one has got to do with discipline. You see, for anything you want to achieve in life, if you do not have discipline, it's a gone deal, because talk is cheap, but execution is worshipped. It is not what you say, it is what you do. At O2 Academy, you come late by 1 minute, guess what? You pay us 5,000 naira pizza fee.
Oh.
And that 5,000 naira will be used to buy pizza for those who keep to time. And why do we do that? It's just to stop this African time mentality. Because you will never hear European time, you will never hear German time. We want to change that narrative. So at O2 Academy, students are very disciplined. They come to class at the right time. If not, you buy us pizza.
Okay. So tell us, what are some of the incredible portfolios offerings that O2 Academy offers?
Okay. Now, at O2 Academy, it will interest you to know that, first off, on graduation at O2 Academy, you getting certified is a big deal. I'll tell you why. Some other academies, once you just enroll and pay your school fees, on graduation, they will give you a certificate. But in O2, you must meet a certain quota of your academic time. Now, the reason for that is because we want to make sure that the training, like I always tell people, you pass through O2, so O2 passes through you. Right. So the training is in you, so we can be able to vouch for the fact that you pass through O2 Academy, because our students are extraordinary. And when you hear someone pass through O2 in a particular office, you see every of those things that we talk about, we believe in, embedded in that person. So that on its own has built a very strong equity for the brand O2, such that some people are even using O2 as a way of trying to get people to employ them. Even those that didn't pass through O2. Someone told me that people are now using O2 name to just get employed. Yeah, it's because we're putting a lot of work to see that the name, the integrity of the brand stays strong, yeah? And the other ones has to do with poaching. A lot of people on graduation, in fact, most of the times, the day of graduation, 60 to 70% of the students are being poached, because we invite HRs, we invite agency heads, and some creative directors on our pitch day. So you have more like shopping going on. So, yeah, so they, and yeah.
It sounds like some funcation.
No, it is, it is.
Like you mentioned.
It is, it is.
Okay, so tell us, just before we wrap this up, tell us, who is OZONE MBANEFO?
Okay. First off, I think I love to organize things in a disorganized way.
Okay, I think you need to say that again.
All right. I love to organize things in a disorganized way. And reason being that a lot of times people do not know that when you get too serious about things, you don't make it interesting for people. And having been in the business of advertising for the past 24 years, not 24 days, I found out that the best way to achieving most of the things you want is never to get people see you coming. I say it again, never let people see you coming. You know, and I have been to 7 different advertising agencies before I decided to start up O2 Academy, just to see that I give life to other life in order to make my life meaningful. And for me, I think that is the real essence of life. Yeah. I chose the name Ozone. Why? Because the ozone layer protects the earth from the scorching sun. Wow. That's the same way I protect every young person from poverty through ignorance by giving them oxygen, which is the knowledge that gives them everything they want to achieve.
So tell us about how you came into the industry. Was it something you had always wanted to do? Was it something you planned? Was it something you stumbled into? What was it for you?
If I tell you this, you won't believe. I got into advertising through Makosa dancing.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Well, this is the truth. Okay. At the NYSC camp, I was dancing Makosa at the Mami camp as a core member, and an advertising agency that was working for brand Guinness one of the account managers met me. I was like, wow, I liked the way you danced. And I told him, I like your job because after NYC, now your struggle continues. And that was how the guy gave me his complimentary card. And I went for an interview, and the rest, they say, is history.
What has been it for you? Like, what have you had to put in to make sure that you sustain your growth trajectory?
I always tell my students, one word that keeps everything together is discipline. And my definition of discipline is doing what you need to do, not what you want to do. Because there's a difference between what you want to do and what you need to do. Discipline is doing what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. And because there are times you don't feel like it, there are days you don't want to just get out of the bed. But you know the truth? You need to do what you need to do for things to go. And therefore, you don't walk by your feelings. You walk by your rational thinking.
Indeed.
And that is it.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy speaking with you this afternoon. We've learned so much from you, I can assure you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And so you have heard it. Do what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us same time next week. I am Bukola Omani. Bye for now.